in the studio with Ute Müller. Questions and Fragments, a conversation with Ute Müller by Pieternel Vermoordel. Demand clarity, straightforwardness, accessibility, situate the work, argue for its relevance, understand its motivations. The most common way to reach these aims would be to apply the format of an interview, a set of questions, each time followed by a series of answers. Direct, linear, clear, and simple. But what if the artist doesn't speak, if she was muted and you would only see the movements of her lips? Nothing can be taken for granted when addressing the work of Ute Müller. This interview is considered to be a construct of thoughts, a series of questions to be answered by other questions. They mark a certain direction and perspective, but shift them at the same time. They are not straightforwardly formulated, but rather built layer over layer, conversation after conversation, merging fragments when the voices of author, of curator and artist fade. What is left is a shadow cast by what once was a three-dimensional soundscape, the memory of a work, the guidance system of an exhibition, traces of spaces where you once walked around, the scent left behind by the egg of the painting's tempera. Point zero is reached, and an infinite amount of possibilities, directions, and perspectives open up. Is it really a question of empathy? Even if you are physically close, you cannot fully grasp the extent of the other's emotions. It is like believing that you know your lover and yourself until you face a breakup. All established habits seem redundant. Your image fades, you fade, and thus he fades, and so the image of the other fades. In these moments, one might question if there is something like a directional knowing. I know you because I understand myself. Understanding oneself from the inside out. In this world created by her, or better, in its shadow world, the colors faded. The casts just show the remnants, the insides. Sculptures are previous walls, and walls were once floors. What is there to protect is there to be marked. What is there to be understood is there to be liked. The space is aligned. Objects are given space. They take space. They collapse. We take space. We fall back. The objects are casts. They show no core. They want to be understood. They want to know where they are. They fall back. Even if they are reduced to their minimal form, in this case, there is no form. Enclosing empty shells, the walls become veils, curtains turn into mirrors. The work is often described as engaging with issues regarding perspectives, questioning the way we see objects, space, and sculptures, a conceptual twist, where a wall takes over the function of a plinth, a sculpture acts as a space divider. Protagonists, characters, backdrops. Does the exhibitor become the exhibited? As if there is a space that marks a here and another there. As if there were two poles marking the end of the world. Remember, a straight line is also always a circle. Walls, multiple ideas, a linear thing, but also interweaving thoughts. Suspended walls are weird plinth placed upside down. The objects fall off something. They do not hold on to anything, but rather open a passage underneath. You can trespass. One space is leaking into another space. The line no longer separates. A wall no longer divides. How does one cast emptiness? How does one travel if material is not caught and placed? How does one imagine the cast of emptiness? No longer identity, no spatial constructs. The oppression of state, forms and rules, the empty vessel. It's absurd and oh, so serious. In the installations and through a choreography in which objects, stage, sculpture, painting, landscape, visitor, and creator shift and mold and cast shadow, we become the shadow while we create the possibility to become our own metaphors. I create a space to see a painting. You only see one painting at a time. And when you navigate through the space, you will have forgotten what you just saw. A memory of a cast, the same again, a body in a shell.